Hey guys, so I'm going to take a little look into your spiritual journey for May. This will be for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus placements. These readings are general, they're for the collective, so if anything here doesn't resonate for you, just leave it for someone who needs to hear it. Remember that there is no gender in tarot. Make sure to check out your other placements to get the overall view if you know your chart. I'll start with your current energy. We'll look at the challenge for your journey in May. We will pull the most likely outcome if you were to overcome that challenge. And we'll pull some advice on how to do so. Make sure to like the video. If you are new here and you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to do so. If you need to book a private personal, all that information is in the description below and in the comment section in the pinned area. So just go through, finish shuffling out the cards, pull everything out, and then we'll dig into it. We have the energy for Scorpio, their spiritual journey in May. Scorpio. Okay. So in the overall energy for May, we have take time to breathe out. And we have idle hours. Take some time out to lie on the emerald grass. My goodness, I cannot read today. So we need to be still. The underlying issue here, I have the Page of Pentacles, the Devil, the Seven of Cups, the Queen of Cups, the Seven of Cups. It's interesting that the Seven of Cups is there twice. It's almost like being delusional. I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean like sometimes our emotions make us almost like really confused. You know, it's like we're not 100% sure what is going on. And it's some type of like triggered issue. It's like a behavior that we have when we get confused. And sort of probably something from childhood. Now in the current we have the Four of Cups. That's clarified by the Seven of Swords and the Six of Swords. The Page of Pentacles and the Four of Wands. Yeah, this is something you don't necessarily, it's like, it's something that you kind of almost refuse to see or that you just don't see. Because, you know, it's the shadow. It's subconscious. I feel like there's an emotional trigger and it's almost like you don't even see it. Or you just don't see where all the conflict comes from, you know, this Five of Swords energy where it's like self-sabotage, constantly feeling defeated. There's also this element of like really, really wanting peace in life, wanting to be, you know, almost like doing what we're meant to do, being very happy. This is like the 1111 card, but it feels like it's just taking forever to get to that period of your life. Maybe you've been working really hard. You don't see any benefits coming from that, you know. The challenge here is justice. We have the Queen of Pentacles with the Knight of Wands, clarifying it. The Five of Pentacles and the Six of Cups. I feel like the challenge here is making peace and getting back to our self-worth. I feel like some of you had a very inconsistent childhood. There might be a bit of an abandonment issue or a poverty issue. That's what has to be looked in here. It's like I said with the inner child and the Six of Cups, is that like past energy. There's some type of there's a real self-worth issue that comes down to your childhood and the inconsistencies there, or maybe you didn't even get a chance to be a child. Like you feel left out from even having a childhood. Seems like there's a lot of confusion in life and it triggers a lot of emotions. So the challenge is looking into this like abandonment issue or that feeling of less than or not worthy of. If you can make it past this challenge here, we have the Page of Swords in that future outcome. The Ace of Swords with the High Priestess. The Two of Pentacles with the Two of Cups. I'm going to keep it 1,000 here. I feel like some of you are not really living your like authentic life. You're not being like your true self. Maybe for some of you in childhood, you just didn't have the best childhood. Maybe your folks were just really poor. And so you were like, I will never be poor. And you made that like your life mission is to just like never be poor, But it's like this ridiculously high standard. And if you don't make it, then you feel like a complete failure. You feel like you've just been completely defeated in life, Or if there is this underlying abandonment issue, people that have abandonment issues, they tend to be afraid of connections, be afraid of love, be afraid of needing people, and I feel like it's like if you can kind of look into this past trauma here, you're gonna really like understand some truths that you maybe didn't see before or were refusing to see here about why you struggle so much with connections and love. I feel like this devil that you need to slay here is an abandonment issue for some of you, Maybe for some of you, you even lost a parent when you were young. And that's something that you really got to look into. You really struggle with emotions and behavior because of this. But if you can look into it, you're going to start to find more inner peace and balance and understand like where this came from, why you're like this. It's almost like emotionally avoidant. And if you feel emotions, then you're just triggered, In the advice, we have the Six of Wands, the Eight of Cups, and Death, which is Scorpio energy. The Four of Wands again with the World. The advice is to just conquer this. Whatever this, I feel very strongly like, it's the emotional, maybe you had emotionally detached parents. They just, they were good parents, but they just like, you weren't able to speak on emotions freely or something. It's deep in the emotional psyche here. If you can sort of allow yourself to transform past that devil energy, you'll get back on track and you'll be able to figure out where you're supposed to move in life from there. But this is something that really holds you back, and it is definitely a deep childhood wound. And it holds you back because, even if you are, it looks like moving towards money, moving towards life stability, there's like this trigger, and it doesn't mean that you're just, acting out. When I say behavior, sometimes the behavior is kind of withdrawing and saying, I'm never going to make it to where I'm supposed to go. Or just, having some solid self-worth issues. And it all stems down to this. So it looks like we're going to be battling with the devil. But the outcome is beautiful. It's figuring out who you really are and living in your truth and, reopening yourself, realigning yourself to receiving love. Or at least human connection. It's a little mental health journey, but it looks like, it's going to be emotional, but it's going to be so worth it. All right. That's what I have for you guys. I'll see you soon.